Ever want to see the world and do good things for the environment at the same time? Think about going on adventures that not only make your life better, but also help protect our world. We show you how to travel in a way that doesn't harm the environment and give you 10 tips that will change the way you see the world. Each tip is a way to travel in a better, more responsible way, from lowering your carbon footprint to helping out in your community. Are you ready to learn how to travel the world and make a difference? Follow us on this path to discovery that doesn't harm the environment. Can you guess what small changes you can make to your trip to make it a positive experience? Number 10. Fresno, California. Fresno, California is in the middle of the Central Valley, which is very good for farming. However, the city has a lot of environmental problems, especially with air quality. Because of the city's location and environment, there are often temperature inversions that keep pollution close to the ground. This leads to high amounts of ozone and particulate matter, which are mostly caused by emissions from farming, cars, and nearby factories. Even though Fresno has a lot of crops, it has a lot of pollution problems caused by pesticides and dust from farms. To make the air better, there are tighter rules on emissions, more monitoring, and community projects that encourage cleaner, more environmentally friendly practices. But Fresno's natural health is still a very important problem that needs constant attention and action. Number 9. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland has big problems with pollution, especially when it comes to the health of its water and air. High levels of ozone and particulate matter are caused by the city's industrial past and present, which includes high levels of emissions from industries and transportation. Air pollution problems are made worse by old facilities and lots of traffic. The Patapsco River and the Chesapeake Bay in Baltimore are both affected by industrial runoff, sewage that hasn't been handled, and trash from cities. This makes the water dirty and hurts marine life in the area. To help fix these problems, sewage treatment plants are being improved, pollution controls are being made tighter, and community-led cleanup projects are being organized. Even with these steps, Baltimore's environmental health is still a major issue that needs more work to be fixed so that pollution doesn't get worse. Number 8. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, Michigan has a history of industry that has left its mark on the environment, especially in the auto business. As the center of American auto industry, Detroit was polluted by factories in a big way. These factories left behind many polluted sites and problems with air and water quality. As the industry went out of business, many manufacturing buildings were left empty, which made the problem even worse. Air pollution, especially from cars and factories, is still a big problem. High amounts of ozone and particulate matter are bad for people's health. Also, decades of industrial discharge and runoff have hurt the ecosystems around the Detroit River and other nearby rivers. To bring life back to Detroit, things like cleaning up brownfield sites, improving monitoring of air quality, and promoting green places to stop environmental damage are all being done. But the city's path to environmental healing and long-term viability is an ongoing one that needs constant dedication and new ideas. Number 7. San Francisco, California. Even though San Francisco, California is known for caring about the environment and doing green things, it has a lot of problems with pollution and cleaning. A lot of people living in a small area and a lot of tourists visiting the city cause a lot of trash management problems. Being homeless makes things worse because they leave trash and other waste in public places. Another issue is air quality, which is affected by ozone and particulate matter pollution from cars and factories. However, efforts are still being made to encourage people to use public transportation instead of their cars. San Francisco also has problems with water pollution from urban runoff and sewage spills, which affects the San Francisco Bay. To deal with these problems, the city has started a lot of eco-friendly programs and policies, such as large-scale recycling efforts, investments in clean energy, and rules meant to lower carbon pollution. In spite of this, keeping San Francisco clean and improving the health of the environment are still big problems. Number 6. Chicago, Illinois. The air and river pollution in Chicago, Illinois, which is known as the Windy City, are big problems for the environment. A lot of industry activity in the city, especially along the Chicago River and Lake Michigan, has caused a lot of pollution in the past, which has hurt the environment and people's health. High amounts of ozone and particulate matter are caused by traffic jams and emissions from factories. This makes the air quality bad. Pollution problems are made worse by infrastructure that is getting old. For example, when it rains a lot, old sewer systems often overflow into bodies of water. Chicago has tried to solve these issues by doing things like improving waste treatment plants, building green infrastructure, and encouraging people to use public transportation instead of driving. But the city still has a hard time finding a balance between business growth and environmental sustainability. Number 5. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is known as the city of brotherly love, but it has a lot of natural problems, especially with the quality of its water and air. High levels of air pollution are caused by the city's past as an industrial center and its dense population. Emissions from factories, cars, and power plants cause ozone and particulate matter levels to be high. Air pollution problems are made worse by old infrastructure and heavy traffic. Another big problem is water pollution. The Schuylkill and Delaware rivers are polluted by sewage spills, industrial runoff, and trash from cities. Litter and pollution are problems in many areas that are caused by illegal dumping and bad waste management. In order to deal with these issues, Philadelphia has taken a number of steps, such as improving public transportation, water treatment facilities, and green areas. However, the city is still having trouble finding a balance between natural sustainability and urban growth. Number 4. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona is in the arid southwest desert, so it has its own environmental problems, especially when it comes to managing trash and air quality. Particulate matter pollution is made worse by haboobs, which are dust storms that often pass through the area. High amounts of ozone and other pollutants are also caused by vehicle emissions and industrial activities. Phoenix's infrastructure and waste management systems are under a lot of stress because of the city's fast population growth and urban sprawl, which has made traffic worse and raised the demand for resources. While the place is in a desert, water pollution is still a problem because of runoff from farms and cities. Phoenix is trying to make the earth better by promoting public transportation, improving recycling programs, and putting in place stricter rules for air quality. But the city's natural health is still a big problem that needs constant attention and new ways to solve it. Number 3. Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is a big center for the oil and gas industry. Because of this, the city has a lot of environmental problems, especially the polluted air and water. The city has a lot of refineries and chemical plants, which cause a lot of industrial emissions that lead to high amounts of ozone and particulate matter. Houston's air quality is often rated low, and people who live there often have health problems linked to smog and other air pollution. Another very important problem is water pollution. Runoff and spills from factories pollute local waterways, such as Buffalo Bayou and the Houston Ship Channel. Water bodies are also polluted by the city's sprawling urban growth, which causes a lot of stormwater runoff. Houston has tried to deal with these problems by enforcing stricter environmental laws, keeping a closer eye on industrial emissions, and starting projects to promote public transportation and green areas. But the city is still having a hard time finding a balance between economic growth and natural sustainability. Number 2. New York City, New York. New York City, the famous city known as the Big Apple, has a lot of environmental problems, especially when it comes to managing air pollution and trash. The city's packed population, large transportation system, and tall skyscrapers all make the air very dirty. Vehicles and buildings release large amounts of particulate matter and ozone into the air. Even though stricter vehicle emissions standards and public transportation programs have been used to try to improve the air quality, New York City still has problems with smog and other health problems linked to air pollution. Another important issue is waste management, since the city makes a huge amount of trash every day. New York still has trouble properly handling and getting rid of its trash, even though it has a lot of recycling programs and other attempts to cut down on waste. Pollution is also caused by illegal dumping and littering in many areas. New York City is still coming up with new ways to improve its natural resilience and sustainability, even with these problems. Number 1. Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, California is known for its glitz and glamour, but it also has big problems with the environment, especially when it comes to air quality. The vast cityscape, heavy traffic, and industrial activities all contribute to the city's high air pollution levels. A lot of the time, Los Angeles has smoggy days because companies and cars release emissions that make the ozone and particulate matter levels rise. Even though steps like car emissions standards and public transportation programs are meant to improve air quality, the city's location makes pollution problems worse because the mountains around it trap pollution in the basin. There are also problems with how Los Angeles handles its trash. Its big population makes a lot of trash, which puts a strain on disposal systems and hurts the environment. Even with these problems, Los Angeles keeps trying new ways to fight pollution and encourage environmental sustainability so that its people can have a cleaner and healthier future. If you're passionate about making a positive impact through travel and want to explore more sustainable tips and adventures, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.